somebody wanted to know how to get a file from Make the Cut into the Pazzles software for the Pazzles Vue. So I thought I would start first with a blank screen here and get something out of the gallery. The gallery icon is at the center of the top toolbar right here. It looks like a tic-tac-toe board. If you click on that, you can you bring up this search. If you don't put any keyword in here, you can just click on search. I click on descending to see the most recent posts first, then click on search, and you can find all different kinds of files posted here that you can use for cutting. So I looked through here and I found a couple of different files that I thought I'd show you. I'll do this takeout box first. To get the file from the gallery to your screen, you click on download, and then I think I'll just change this to a green screen so you can see the cutting lines. Right now the line color is black, and the fill color is black. If I want to change the fill color, I can click on the shape here and click on the color box, and I'll just give it a color here by clicking on the left-clicking on a color. So now the design's red. Everything is selected. As you can see, that there's a blue bounding box around it. So all I have to do when it's selected is go to File, Export, Selection to SVG, or the shortcut key is Ctrl+Shift+S. When I want to do a whole bunch of exports, then I might use Ctrl+Shift+S to make it quick. So I click on that, then I give it a name. We'll just call this Takeout Box 1, and I'll put it on my desktop just to make it easier to find. So when I go to the InVue software, which is the software that ships with the Pazzles Vue cutter, in order to bring in the SVG, I go to File, Import, SVG, and I'll browse to my desktop where I save that file, and I'm going to look for Takeout Box 1 and click on Open. Now you'll notice here that the file is bigger than it is over here, and also I think I only selected the red box here, so I didn't get any lines over there. What I'm going to do now is select all, click on this arrow in the lower left corner to select all. So now all of my score lines are selected, and I'm going to export again to SVG. I'll just give it the same name, save, and I'll replace the other one. So we'll try this again because this one didn't have any score lines on it. If you don't select it, it won't get exported. So we'll go to File, Import SVG, go to the desktop where I saved it, and take out box 1 and open it. Let's see if the lines are there. Once you get the file in here, they're always, all the imports are always grouped. So you have to click on the red X at the top of the selection in order to ungroup it. And you see underneath there, there's the score lines. So I'm going to undo and get it back there. The next thing I need to do is resize it. Because Make the Cut uses a SVG format of 90 dpi like Inkscape uses, and Pazzles uses the 72 dpi of Illustrator, we have to resize everything down a little bit. So when you are in Make the Cut, check the size of your design while everything's selected, and go up here to Height or Width, and just check the height. This is 11.3898, Pazzles rounds it off to just 2 decimal places, so I'll round it to 11.39. So I'm going to go to the InVue Software, and there's this box here. By default you see Move To, but what you have to do is click on this little arrow and go down to W and H, and make sure that you have clicked this little chain link here to lock the aspect ratio, so that once you resize, it'll stay proportional. So the size that I wanted, now I forgot already, 11.39. So I'm going to resize the height. This up and down arrow shows the height. 11.39. And you click on the Apply button. So now we have this design here. To get it to where I can see the cut lines, I can select just the red part now that I've clicked on that and that little red X and ungrouped it. I can right click and arrange and select Move to Back, so now I can see the score lines. So now I can go ahead and cut this from this software, and to do that I would click on the little cutter icon at the top, and you'll see that all the lines came in as black. Now in this particular project it doesn't matter because I can cut all those lines and it won't matter. But if I wanted to cut the score lines separately and let's say make them with less pressure so they didn't cut all the way through, I don't have any way to select just those unless I assign line color, because this software cuts by line color. So I can exit this, and I'm going to select just the red box here, and there's a simple way to make the fill color match the line color, and that is to come over here with the box selected, and you see that this box on the right hand side is the fill color or brush color. If you hover over it, you'll see brush color. Then you left click and drag that red over to the line color. Now the line color is the same color as the fill color. So if I go to click on the cut icon, now you see I can choose whether I want to cut just the red lines or just score the black lines, or if I want to do all, I can click on all and I can cut them all at once. So it's pretty simple if you have only one color going on. But let's suppose, we'll go back to make the cut, and I'll just close this out. I don't need to change it. And now I have this that I got from the gallery. That's a file that I made a couple Christmases ago, and it looks like Dave posted it to the gallery. It's on page, I think it's on page 3 of the gallery. There it is. So if I click on download here, you'll see everything is all on its original layers. I have the text on one layer. I think I'll join it together by clicking on join. I'm going to click on the next layer here. This is the yellow layer, so when I left click on it, I'll click on join to join it all together. And I do this before I export so that light colors are all joined. They're easier to manage if they're already together. So I'm clicking on the green and join those, and then I have one final green down there. So what I'm going to do is again select all by clicking that bottom arrow, the lower left corner, check my size. I should write it down so I don't have to remember it. My memory's bad. 10.17 inches high. So I'm going to go to File. And before I do that, if you try clicking on a design you've downloaded from the gallery and it won't select, you don't see any blue, just go to the lock icon in the lower right corner and click on it and select Unlock All. Then you'll be able to select everything. So again, I'm going to select everything, go to File, Export, Selection to SVG, and we'll call this Fold Out Nativity Card. I'll just call it 1. Then you would do the same thing. You come over here to the InVue Software, and now you have to exit the cutting window on any open file before you open another. And I'll just close this one out, and I don't need to save it. To open a new file, you go to File, New, select the size you want, and Create. So I have a new blank screen. I'll go to File and Import SVG, and go to my desktop where I save that file. And Fold Out Nativity Card. Now I have all the files in here, but you notice they're bigger than the mat. So what I'm going to do is select all. Now if I click on anything, you'll notice it selects everything, and there's a red X because that's how things come into this software all as a group. And I'll go to again, the height window. We'll change that to 10.17 and click on Apply, so the whole thing resizes proportionally. Now if I want to change any of the cut lines, and I'll show you when I go to the cutter right now, everything is all black, and that won't do if I only want to cut certain things. And when I want to draw the text, and these pieces are overlapping here, and they would just cut apart if I cut them that way. So what I need to do is click on the red X to ungroup everything. Now, if I click on the text, you notice that all the text that I joined together and make the cut is now all selected. I can make that all one color. Maybe I want it purple. I'll right-click on purple, and now all the text is purple. If I want to change the line color of the yellow pieces, I'm clicking on the yellow, and since they're all grouped or joined in Make the Cut, they all select when I just click on it here. And again, I want the line color to be yellow instead of black, so I'm going to hover over this yellow until that pop-up window comes, left-click and drag. And sometimes it doesn't want to work, but once you get this yellow outline here, you know that the line color is now yellow instead of black. Then let's say I want the green lines. Again, I wait until that pop-up window comes, left-click and drag to the right, and now that those lines are green. And then I have one more here, this green. I've got it selected, and left hover over this first. Let's do undo because I changed the color. I want to click this, and I think I will just, in order to change a line color in this software, you select the shape you want, and then on a color palette you can right click, and that'll change the color to the color that the line color to what you just clicked. You left click to change fill, and you right click on a color to change the line. So now I have all of these changed. I can go to the cutter again, and now if I want to put my pen in and I want to draw, then I select just this square, and I come up to this window up here and select draw. Then it sets it up for a speed and pressure to go ahead and draw. I put my pen in the cutter, and I press auto load with my paper on it, and it will draw that text exactly on the paper where it appears on the screen. And then I take that paper off, and let's say I want to do the yellow paper now, and I'm going to change this to the kind of paper. I'm going to do a cut, and I'm going to select maybe smooth, thick cardstock, and it'll set a pressure. And if I find that pressure is not enough for the exact paper that I'm using, I can raise it up and I can actually save the setting for that if I want to. Or I can add a new type of media and set my own settings so next time it'll remember. So if I want it, then I finish that cut, and I want to cut the green here, I can, and then I have a square here with the these dashed lines. The one thing that I see here is that these dashed lines turned into solid. Well, I could go back and export it again. Sometimes when you import dashed lines, they may change to something solid, and you can change the line style, and these are going to be score lines. I could add a score line thing here. Now I can't remember how to change that to a dash. Let's see. And this one needs to be dashed. I'll hold Shift and select this one and this little one. But this one is joined together with the other. I think what happened is those lines were joined in my original. Have weeding value. I can't remember. I don't cut from this software very often. I mostly cut from Make the Cut. I click on, oh, I know, I'm going to exit. Have to do it from this other window, that's why. If I've got these two lines that are joined with the green, I don't know why it won't let me. You can go to View and Show Wireframe, Ungroup, and then when you come up here, you can select Line Style here, and then select a dash. And this one should be a dash. And I can change those colors. Maybe I'll change to red by right-clicking on the red while it's selected, and right-clicking on the red while it's selected. And this one I think is joined, so ungroup it, and a right-click on the red. So now when I go to cut, sorry about the diversion, I didn't realize I was in the cutting window. Now I'm going to select just the red lines, and you see that those are my score lines. So I can leave them on when I'm cutting the green, or I can turn them off and just do the score lines by themselves first if I want to do a lower pressure. So that's what I do. I don't usually do a lot of fancy stuff. Any questions?
There was just the one question. Somebody came in late, didn't know what the InVue software was, so I just answered that.
Yeah. This is the InVue software. They do have a Pazzles, the Pazzles Pro software has a one-button that changes the fill color to the line color, which makes it quicker and easier to do these changes. But This, if you have multiple colors, this is the most complex that it gets. But I wanted to show you an easy one and a more complex one.